Yeah.
We good.
It ain't got to be on your lip, but can it be on your chin?
Yeah, just like right here.
I'm not putting shit on my chin, big dog.
Bro. Would you rather it be on your chin or on your lip? Because on your lip, the next step is in your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
This man must be stopped.
I think we just found the code open for this episode. Hey guys, welcome to the chat room. If you guys are new here and you came from the con, hello, welcome.
Hello.
We are filming this in the same day I am dropping the con footage, so stay tuned. So here's the concept of today's episode. It's some other stuff, like some warm-up things we'll talk about, like any movies or something we've seen or video games. I want to get right to this thing.
Yeah,
I want to do a high hour of this so we can get the fuck about
I
here.
swear to God, I'm waiting on this conversation.
So anybody got
I was just after the show.
okay, all right. So
I'm ready.
Okay, so as you see the title, this is the trial of Darth Vader. We came with this idea a long time ago. It was going to be a skit or something we was going to do at a con, but I misconstrued the invite, so it was like, oh, I thought I had the floor, didn't have the floor, didn't want to do it.
I've been looking forward to this.
So here's what's going to happen. My brother over here representing the good guys, the good people. Whatever. He is going to tell us, he's going to try for Darth Vader being guilty. Obviously, I'm going for Darth Vader being innocent. And these guys who don't really watch Star Wars, impartial jury, are going to decide who won this debate. Now, here's the format what's going to happen, okay? He's going to go out first, tell you his point of view and what he's planning on here to prove. And he's going to say what he wants to happen at the verdict if he wins. Then I'm going to go. And he's gonna go. You're gonna go uninterrupted. No debate. Just you gonna talk.
How long do each person get?
I don't know.
That's a good point. We should put a time limit.
Yeah, they want about them.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Minute and a half.
No, it's like 5 minutes.
I'll say,
like 5 minutes to tell me.
Y'all have to go details, right?
Not for ultimate statement. Open statement's gonna be like it's a quick opening statement each, but then you get to go uninterrupted for like you said, how 5 minutes?
Okay, I see what you mean.
Okay, 5 minutes apiece. So you go 5 minutes without interruption. I go 5 minutes, and then they have questions. We answer the questions, and then we have an open debate after the debate.
Like, let's just say we made our point, then I say I yield the floor. Like
I mean, I would suggest you use the full 5 minutes uninterrupted, because then I can't say anything.
Hold on, so
and then after you go 5 minutes, is it open statements, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Then y'all got questions. I think Killer got the timer.
Yeah, he got timer.
So y'all got any questions? Y'all got anything to follow up on? And then we gonna debate.
I like to make a point here for one moment.
What?
I like how we got the difference in colors.
Yeah, and then
we didn't notice this. Like
the blue side of the room and the red side of the room. Yeah.
We didn't notice this. Like I had this. I said, you know what? I'm gonna put on this Star Wars shirt.
Yeah, this is one of the many Vader shirts I do have.
All right,
go ahead. So go ahead.
All right, gentlemen of the jury and audience, we are gathered here today to not persecute. The word is
open it. Ain't no time.
I'm over here looking at this bitch.
I'm here to represent the New Republic, the citizens of the galaxy that want peace and prosperity, that fought a hard-fought war against a dictator and his pit bulldog, Darth Vader. I mean, I'm sorry. Let's look at the history of Vader. He has no military. He has no military. No military.
Go ahead.
He has no military ranking officially. He is pretty much the Emperor's right hand, and he was used as a blunt force object no matter where he stands. And wherever he brings intimidation and death. Intimidation and death with him. My argument is that he needs to be brought up on charges against humanity and any type of alien race, and he needs to be frozen in carbonite for the rest of his existence.
Jesus.
That is my opening statement. That's my opening volley.
He started off strong. What
he
you got?
did. Carbonite. Okay.
It coming in hot.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen and audience and the jury here.
The peanut gallery.
I am not going to lie. Darth Vader has done terrible things. But he was nothing but a victim of the machinations set before him like everyone else in the galaxy's government, from episode 3 to end of episode 3 to beginning of episode to the Mandalorian. I'm gonna say everybody was a victim of Palpatine's machinations and his manipulations and stuff like that. How this young boy, who was closer to Palpatine than anyone else in the universe, wouldn't be the first stop, if not the most vicious victim of his schemes. Now, he does need to try for his crimes, but I believe the plaintiff that's a harsh verdict to go for. I believe he should be subject to rehabilitation by the ghost of the Jedi that he failed. He should be restricted to his home planet of Tatooine until fully rejuvenated on a reservation of Gungans. Now I'm going for. I want to go for. Y'all don't know who Gungans are. That's Jar Jar Binks.
Oh,
Niggas.
God.
Okay. All right. That's why rehabilitation. That's what I think you should go for.
His worse.
Anything in
That's
the world.
worse. You think that's worse? I just said rehabilitation among the Gungans.
Me so what's a nice one.
I mean, he did do bad things, but he has to be rehabilitated and he has to suffer a little bit.
I think he would probably kill all of them.
No,
And
that's
he-
the test. That's so he's really changed, because even we would probably take some Gungans. But if he can live among them for a time and not hurt them, I think this says a lot. Okay, all right, bro.
Okay, give me a second. Go ahead.
No, you got to do your first 5 minutes.
Okay.
Let me know. Yeah, let me know when you're
You
ready.
got notes on your phone?
Yeah, sorta.
Oh, okay.
More than anything in the world.
I think he prepared more than I did. I'll tell you that much.
So,
Oh,
all right.
Let
let's
me know
start.
when you're ready.
So, I'm ready.
Oh, okay.
So let's start off with Darth Vader's history. Before he was known as Darth Vader, he was Anakin Skywalker. And Anakin was a lowly slave boy from the planet Tatooine. And all he knew was work and home and dreams of bigger aspirations. So he finally, fate had it, or the Force had it, that he was to be liberated from Tatooine into the hands of a capable Jedi Master, Qui-Gon Jinn. And Qui-Gon was going to be his master. Obi-Wan was Qui-Gon's Padawan. And unfortunately, Qui-Gon was killed mercilessly by Darth Maul. Darth Maul killed Qui-Gon Jinn. Spoiler alert for anybody who's never seen any Star Wars. I'm sorry, this is how it's going to go.
Oh, yeah, they getting spoilers on us.
I'll say, if nobody's seen Star Wars at this point, this is the wrong video to start with.
Yeah, this is. But now Obi-Wan, having not had any Padawan, having not had anybody to teach, but him being a Padawan himself, had to learn how to teach this boy, who, by the way, was told that he was going to be the chosen one of the Force. Like it's like all of a sudden you are. It's like being Joseph, the father of Jesus, and knowing, your first baby is the Son of Man. So here you go. It's Jesus Christ. You gotta watch out for Jesus. So now he has to raise this. He has to raise this Jedi to be this amazing ability and has these amazing powers. And Anakin, my thinking, is that he mishandled and misused his ability and caused the mercilessly deaths of all those that were in his order, destroying it, causing an imbalance in the universe that caused tyranny for decades. It caused tyranny for decades for people to fall up under until a rebellion was created to stop said evil and to rise up and bring back a somewhat balance to the galaxy. Now, my argument is that, as my opposing counsel will say, is that he needs to be rehabilitated. Well, I think out of all of the tyranny and destruction that he's caused, rehabilitation is just too good for him. I think it's unfair, because how many people didn't get that liberation or didn't get that second chance at life because of his action? How many people didn't get a second chance at I'm so sorry, Lord Vader. I have here a list of all of his casualties as Darth Vader. Woo! Admirals Ozell, Nita various unnamed captains and admirals.
2 minutes remaining.
I mean, Vader has had. If you saw it from Empire Strikes Back until, Empire Strikes Back until Episode 6. So Episode 4 and Episode 5 and 6. Whenever Vader saw it, you saw an Imperial officer, somebody walk in front of you. If Vader was not pleased with his performance, guess what? You getting choked. You getting your throat. It's to the point where it's a meme. And it's so bad that it's a meme in all culture at this point. That you were known more for your brutality than you were for your ability to use your power. Yeah, and he was relentless. He was angry. When you saw Darth Vader, I don't even care if he was smiling underneath the suit. He still, his presence embodied anger. His presence embodied indifference to your suffering. His presence embodied the indifference to how you felt no matter what was going on. I don't care you lost the Millennium Falcon. I need the Millennium Falcon here now. I need this body here now. I need this person destroyed here and now. I need them in my presence alive. If you ruin this for me, even just a little bit, you can say goodbye to your family. And how many of those Imperials had families of their own?
You asleep? Oh, okay.
So how many Imperials had families of their own? How many people, Daddy's going to serve the Empire, and Daddy never came back because Darth Vader decided to say, you know what?
30 seconds.
I'm done with you. And I yield the rest of my time to my opposing counsel.
All right, opposing counsel.
First of all, I'm going to take the little last, keep going. I'm going to take the last little bit in seconds to let him point out the people he referencing he killed are Imperials. These are people, foot soldiers, who listen to a terrible man, the Emperor, do terrible things. They deserve to die. Okay? Now.
Would you like to start your time?
I'd like to start my time.
All right.
I'm waiting for it.
And your time begins now.
Go ahead. So, I would like to point out, yes, I believe Darth Vader is an embodiment of anger. But where does this anger come from? This is a man who has been shipped from one institution to another. He was started in the institution of slavery. He left from slavery to be an institution of the Jedi Order. Do they have freedoms? No, they have a very strict religious doctrine they got to follow. And he goes from the Jedi Order to being a Sith Lord and an Imperial officer or Imperial foot soldier, where the fuck he is. So he's never really had any level of freedom of his own. Is a man with frustrations built up from the Jedi hypocrisy. And I know it's a big hypocrisy. It's a lot of hypocrisy in the Jedi Order. But my counsel, my rival here, opposing counsel, will say, well, he's supposed to be perfect. Well, how he's supposed to be perfect when he had no perfect example to follow? Every Jedi is a level of hypocrisy upon them. Mace Windu, worried about Anakin dabbling in the dark side. That's what his purple lightsaber means. He does dabble on the dark side. So it's okay for him. They said you can't be a Jedi master on a council without a trained Padawan. First of all, they chased his Padawan off. Ahsoka Tano was guilty before any evidence was found upon her doing it, and that made her quit because she was more than ready to be a Jedi Knight. Matter of fact, she's only one of the few Jedi Knights who survived and prospered since Order 66 because of his training. The other Padawans, dead. Just shows how well of a master he was. But not only that, so they chased his Padawan away. He couldn't be a Jedi master. But then Ki-Adi-Mundi, who already on the council, doesn't have a Padawan who made the Jedi Knight. But he's still a Jedi master. He's still on the council. And not only that, this same motherfucker got a wife and multiple kids. But they said Anakin couldn't have loved ones. So he had to hide Padme away in secret. But if they had just let him be imperfect, like the Jedis they already had before them that were imperfect, he wouldn't have to feel like he had to shy away from that. That's what drove him to evil. That's what made him angry, the hypocrisy, the Jedi Order. So the Jedi Order was already imperfect. They had to be destroyed. And whether it was through violence or whether it was through them changing their ways, the Jedis wouldn't have fought a war. These are people, symbols of peace. they fought a war. That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Hypocrisy, I say. I say hypocrisy. And because of this anger, he was manipulated
2 minutes, counsel.
by Palpatine. Palpatine took this moment to say, "Oh well, they won't let you do this, Anakin. I'll let you do whatever you want. I'll do this. Well, you are more powerful than the rest of them." They were boosting his ego. He was glazing him while the Jedi's was judging him. So of course he leaned towards the manipulation because he was being more confident than where he was from. You see what I'm saying? I don't think I understand he did terrible things. Not to say he didn't do. He did the terrible, awful things, but he's manipulating to doing them. Let's look at Bucky Barnes. Is Bucky Barnes held responsible for the thing he's done? In Thunderbolts, he's a goddamn senator.
He was brainwashed.
But isn't manipulation the same thing as brainwashing?
Not the same world.
I'm just saying though, a young person who's amputee got his arm cut off is being manipulated by somebody. I feel like it's equatable to a degree. I argue that if Anakin was given the same liberties as the rest of the masters of the Jedi Council, we wouldn't be doing this. Do you know why they want to make him a master? You know why they wouldn't let him be a master on the Jedi Council? Because he would have been the youngest Jedi master in history. Do you know who is the youngest Jedi master in history? I asked 3 people who don't watch Star Wars.
Who?
Samuel L. Jackson's character. The same motherfucker who told him, you're on the council, but you're not Jedi master. That's some hating ass shit.
Being that it's Samuel L. Jackson, motherfucker is.
But you see what I'm saying, though? The same person who told him personally, you're not going to be a master, is the same person who holds the record for the same thing. And don't get me wrong, we better get into this because the level of manipulation that Mace Windu has depicted in the past,
Yeah,
it's
I want to hear more of
documented.
this.
It's on the record. Officially canon. I yield my time.
Well,
So then
You
this,
want to talk in here?
no, I'll wait.
then this- so y'all got any questions? This is the part where y'all ask questions.
I mean, goddamn.
Oh, goddamn, we threw too much at you.
Yeah, cause I'm like, I want to hear more. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Are you aware of the actions of his Padawan after Order 66?
She got a whole show. She got multiple shows.
No.
No, I said all the
I'm
actions she
asking
been
her
doing.
actions as
Oh,
in,
okay. Yeah.
Has she killed anyone? Has she destroyed anything as she had escaped or after the order had been?
No. She lived a life of peace until a Inquisitor came for her, and she beat the Inquisitor. Mind you, the Inquisitor has a spinning lightsaber with 2 blades on it. She beat him without a weapon.
Well,
It took the blades and was the first Jedi, as I know, first Jedi in canon to heal a bled kyber crystal. Bled kyber crystals, when they take one of those Jedi crystals that make the lightsaber swords, and they put all their hate into it.
And it
So not only she took their hate and healed it, it turned white. That's why she's the only one with white lightsabers.
All right.
Ah, okay. See, I didn't know that.
All right. For Mr. Chip over here, how many Jedi has Vader extinguished?
At the time, I think the order was at.
Now he's asking how many he personally killed, not what you think. How many the Empire
Personally
killed.
killed.
Yeah, how many he killed.
He did him like that.
You know
Yeah.
what?
See, now here's the thing. If you want to talk, we talking 2 different orders. Mine. We talking Legends or we talking?
I'm talking Disney canon.
Canon.
Disney canon.
So I would say canon. It's in the double digits.
Oh, goddamn.
I'll give about. Okay, yeah. Double digits, yeah.
It's about a double digit.
It's somewhere between 20 and 30.
Yeah, it's somewhere
At least.
between that.
So, with a person that's going on to kill up to potentially 30 people, maybe even 40, double digits still. You know, even if in our world, even if you kill one motherfucking person, you're going down. If you kill 2 people, you're going super fucking down. If you kill 30 people, nigga,
You going under that bitch.
I'm talking about you're basically
And then you wearing black.
Of the fucking earth.
Okay. So hear me out. Are we counting killing people, just killing them, or killing them in the act of war?
Good question.
Was it war when he killed them?
It's always war in Star Wars.
Oh yeah, Star Wars. Yeah, it's always
I mean,
war.
okay. Hear me out. Vader's a soldier. His orders were to kill the Jedi because by law, because they changed the law, the Jedi were treasonous. So in his eyes, following his law was to kill Jedi. So he did his fucking job. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about it. He was a Padawan when the Clone Wars started. He was trained to be a soldier. You see what I'm saying? If the Jedi never fought that war, him fighting the war would have been egregious. But as far as he understood it, he was just following the Republic's order. The Republic got what? Manipulated and transformed it to something else. So now he was the one following the orders. You see what I'm saying? So like, he's a soldier. He wasn't like, he was like, ha, I don't give a fuck. Palpatine's like, hey, yo, cool it, man. Don't kill no Jedi. He was like, oh, fuck it, I'm going after some Jedis. You know, he's like, hey, go get them Jedis. He was like, yes, my master. You see what I'm saying? Like, he was following the orders he was given.
So this question is for Al. How many Sith did he extinguish in his time as a Jedi?
All right, here we go. He didn't kill us.
I don't need names. I just need numbers.
Okay, well, damn.
Thinking about this in like country terms, right? So like if you're, if you're like the fucking president or like the king of whatever country that you know you're in, right?
Right.
You make the laws, you know, you pass bills and shit like that. So like technically, if you kill like an insubordinate motherfucker and you're the king, like do you really have to stand trial for that? Is that trial worthy?
And that's another thing. You made the point that he killed a lot of Imperial officers. I will make the argument that he's the only character in the original trilogy who killed officers. Han never shot an officer. Luke never shot. If anything, he's doing more work for the rebels than they were.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm really glad you brought that back up.
Go ahead.
Counsel, I'm ready for my time.
No. This is
okay. Well, here's what I'm thinking. So, because they were officers of the Imperial Navy, and they followed orders, but aren't we arguing for the fact of an imperial muscle to get humane treatment?
But the officers did. You saw the Mandalorian. The officers are part of the New Republic. Just the same way the Nazis became American citizens after World War II.
Okay.
Damn.
So they got their rehabilitation. I'm saying, why can't Vader get his? You see what I'm saying?
Cause he an evil motherfucker.
They
That's
all
why.
were evil motherfuckers. To the point where they were evil motherfuckers and kept doing evil because they were insidiously trying to like overthrow the New Republic. Right. I feel like if Vader's lived, his son's love would have made him change completely. He would not still be with doing that stupid shit they was doing.
But how many people would be alive had Vader been frozen? I did not say dead. Frozen.
From the beginning of the system.
From the time
he became Vader.
No. Let's go from New Hope.
Okay.
How many people would be alive had he just been stopped right there? Had Han and them, had he just floated off in space and couldn't find another ship, couldn't find an appearance?
Let me ask you this. How many people would be dead because Luke would be dead? Because Vader's hesitation, his insistence on beating Luke, Boba Fett would have shot all of them. Where were they at? And Boba during the when he was turning Han into carbonite. He was turning Han into carbonite, right? Remember? Right. And Chewbacca said, and then Boba pulled his gun real quick, and Vader said no, because he knew he had to keep them alive to draw Luke in. If he wasn't there, and that situation still happened, Boba would have iced all of them. Which means no Chewie, no Han, no Leia. Which means the Death Star plans, the next Death Star thing gets fucked up. Which means the Empire wins. So how much of his presence made Star Wars happen the way it happened? Hell, if he was dead before that happened, there's no Luke and Leia. Death Star goes off. None of that shit happens.
I ain't gonna cap. He kind of on your ass right now.
Obi-Wan doesn't get involved because Obi-Wan doesn't have that adventure with Leia. Leia doesn't even reach out to him. Obi-Wan's still somewhere chilling, man.
He's not on trial for how many lives he saved. He's on trial for how many lives.
But he's on trial for his effect on the universe.
Yes.
Oh, so that's what we're arguing.
I'm just saying. I feel like he should have rehabilitation.
So okay, okay. Should I give my time now? So
no. We did it for open stage.
Okay, so now here's what we talked about how Anakin, his effect, right, and how he was groomed. You said, or
yes, he was groomed.
He was groomed. Okay, so let's ask this question. In our society,
here we go.
In our society, we're gonna say when hurt. We're gonna say hurt people. Let's just say the phrase "hurt people, right?
Right.
Hurt people, hurt people.
Yes.
But even those that were previously hurt in their childhoods, groomed to a certain condition, become said predators, aren't they held to the same extent of the law in which the predator that did something to them? Just a question.
By that logic, I would have to say, me, part of the jury, would have to say that is a valid. That's valid. That's valid.
And in our society, we actually have a zero tolerance against said activity. If for somebody to say, "But it happened to me," and then all of a sudden that gives you leeway, that gives you room, that gives you carte blanche to just do the same harm to somebody else. Well, I do, and then that you cause same harm to someone else, creating a cycle of
trauma. It is called passing the trauma, but it's a thing we have to stop the trauma with you. But that comes from rehabilitation, not punishment.
So
let's say Vader didn't switch. Let's say Luke never reached out to him and whatever.
Okay.
And he stayed evil. But for whatever reason, the Empire still got overthrown. He got put into carbonite. If he comes out, if somebody happens to let him free, or the failure power thing on the carbonite just goes out for whatever reason, he gets unthawed. Do you think that rage and anger that man has is going to go, well, you know what? I really learned my lesson from that shit because I don't want to get frozen again. Or he going to be so angry, he going to blow a planet up with his rage and ride the fucking comet to the nearest person and go. You see what I'm saying? It's not fixing the issue. The issue needs to be fixed through rehabilitation and healing, not punishment. I understand what you're saying. Trauma is trauma. But to stop the cycle of trauma, see a psychologist.
So why
get help?
So again, we say that Anakin was groomed and all this, but Anakin had a choice.
Here we go.
All right. Let's go. Let me chime in with this question for Al, the council.
Thank you.
Council, who's strong enough to stop him?
Vader.
Who's strong enough to stop him? If he decided to refuse rehabilitation, who would be strong enough to stop him?
Luke, his son. He defeated him already in Return of the Jedi.
No. So
when I say he defeated him without any help for outside
I will
forces.
pose this question: did he defeat him because Vader allowed him to?
No.
Or did he defeat him on even terms?
He defeated him on even terms.
So, do you think?
And mind you,
do you think
mind you, this version of Luke that defeated him wasn't even fully a master in the Force yet. Like, so this is like Jedi Knight level Luke defeated Darth Vader. It wasn't even Jedi Master level. It wasn't even a version of Luke that could put a hologram of himself on a planet light years away to fool somebody. Like, if we didn't talk about that version of Luke, we talking about Jedi Knight level Luke.
So then I ask you, are we removing a Jedi from action just because we need to keep Vader in check for his rehabilitation?
Newsflash: the Jedi have all been out of action this whole time. Anyway, the universe was just fine. I think they'll be okay with him watching his daddy.
You said the universe was what?
The universe was fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure we record that.
Listen.
I'm listening.
The Empire was doing empiring. That's fine. That was doing what it's gonna do. But like I said just a second ago, the Jedi should not be fighting wars. If the Jedi Order was around during the Empire's time, they should not be fighting wars. They defend the innocent when they see it in front of them, but they can't hey, all right, we're going to take these statistical tactics. That's what the fuck they went wrong the first time.
So
That's the reason Yoda and Obi-Wan's ass was hiding because they shouldn't be fighting that war.
So, Council Al, question.
Yes.
Damn, you was spending so much.
I'm sorry.
You spend so much that you made me almost forget what I had to say. Damn.
It's like you did forget what you had to say.
He like the gavel. Wait. You
Wait. You know, gotta do that rewind.
Run that back.
So, what are your expectations, or what is your projected anticipation for Vader's rehabilitation? What do you anticipate him doing after he has rehabilitated?
Healing.
I mean, it's pretty
Healing
much just being a counsel for his son to rebuild the Jedi Order.
You can be a shit father and still be president.
But I mean, I'm just saying. I think he would have been.
Or you can be a shit person and still be a decent father. Excuse me.
Yeah, but Anakin as a person, the real Anakin was very loving to a fault. That's the reason he went the way he did, because he was trying to save his wife's life. So he would love his kids more than anything, but he had to become Anakin first. Darth Vader, as they made it clear, Darth Vader and Anakin are two different personalities in the same person's body.
So are you arguing that
this is a Hulk? This is a Moon Knight situation.
So are you? Hell no. So are you arguing? Are you arguing that this was all out of a crime of passion for those that he cared for?
Okay, so I'm glad you said all that. Yes, because okay,
I got questions for you too next.
so here's the thing. So this is what happened. He slave boy, Padme.
That's rough.
He wasn't slave. I'm just a slave boy. Padme and Qui-Gon landed on Tatooine. He met Padme. She was beautiful. Bam. Qui-Gon, since he was strong in the Force, get him over here. So he left with Qui-Gon and shit. He became a Jedi Knight with Obi-Wan, right? He falls in love with Padme. He starts having troubling visions of his mother. He's like, I don't know what's going on with my mom. I gotta go follow my mom. He goes to Tatooine. He finds out his mom was being tortured to death by the goddamn Sand People. He gets pissed off and kills the whole village of Sand People. He does that. So then, mind you, he was getting visions in his sleep. So the next movie, he starts getting visions in his sleep about his wife. So now, naturally, because he already had the visions about his mom's death, he's thinking, oh shit, wife's about to die too. Then his master manipulator goes, hey, I know how to bring people back from the dead, just in case you want to know. So, but the Jedi can't give him that because the Jedi don't even know he's married because they're hypocrites. He can't talk to them like if he can say, hey, I fucked up, I married the politician, I'm sorry, but I get visions about her dying. What can we do? And they would have openly helped him, that's one thing. But if he felt like they were going to chastise him or possibly, I don't know, go a step further, not make him a Jedi master, and he brought him down even further, he probably would have went to them. He couldn't do that. He was alone in the situation, and the only person offering help is the same guy who's been helping him for 10, 20 years now. You see what I'm saying? It was rigged. It was a carnival game. It was rigged.
So my question to you again, Counsel, is
yes.
What did him killing the Sand People solve?
I'm glad you asked that question.
I'm sorry, I have good questions today, I suppose.
Well, if you know anything about the banter herding on Tatooine, you would know that the Sand People do too much of it. And with that significant reduction, nothing, it didn't solve anything. It didn't solve shit. It didn't solve shit, but it felt good.
So with that input.
Oh, there you go. Here you go again. What the fuck is going on with your microphone, man? There you go. All right. I'm move this up.
I would say to put the whole thing.
I'm trying to slide it over. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right.
Testing.
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
So with that input, it was just aimless killing out of rage.
Well, I mean, not aimless. Those are the one that killed his wife. He didn't kill all the Sand People, just that village. I know this
is deja vu for sure.
It sounds terrible. I know.
Didn't we have a conversation about this a long time ago? Like early,
in the galaxy far, far away.
In early.
We was over Alex's house talking about the same shit about.
Was we?
It wasn't.
No, we was at the pizza place because we was talking about. We was
trying to justify.
This is back when we was doing the trial the first time. We was talking about. This is back when we was first going to do the trial. Yeah.
Sound like a rerun. Okay.
Yeah, no, we was back talking about the first time, but still.
Because you make this same point.
Because it's a valid point.
But you said he caused him.
No, okay, killing the Sand People was not going to bring his mom back. It wasn't going to help anything. These are the motherfuckers who killed his mom.
All right, so council.
But by your logic, kill motherfuckers who do a crime.
I didn't say kill. I said freezing carbon.
Well, he had a lightsaber.
Now, see,
he had a lightsaber and rifle justice.
So is what your counsel making the argument of because you have a lightsaber, you're above the law?
No, I'm not saying that. But I will also say this: in the extended universe, this is not. It's sugar for the record, no real evidence. But in the extended universe, they did say that Dooku put a hit out on. He reached out to the Sand People to purposely kidnap his mom to fuck with him. It was a machination, a manipulation against him by the same motherfuckers who were manipulating the whole time.
So why kill the Sand People if Dooku was the one behind the hit?
Because he didn't know that. And honestly, that information I just found that out myself.
So why kill the Sand People instead of interrogating?
They don't speak English. They go.
They can point.
That nigga wasn't there.
All right, council chip.
Okay.
All right, council chip.
Go ahead.
No, I have questions for you, sir.
Go ahead.
About to grill you as well. Why? Or do you think? Why do you think freezing him versus execution is a better or more justified response?
That's the most humane response I can think of that the galaxy can come up with without having to resort to murder.
How's it humane if he's still
because he's still alive?
How is it humane if he's still alive?
He's still alive.
So, Council Al had made a very, very disturbing point. Very disturbing. That if somehow, some way, his cryo freezing malfunctions and he dethaws. In your words, sir, you stated that that's potential built up rage from being frozen, correct?
Yeah, because your mind is still working while you're frozen.
So you believe in rehabilitation, but you believe in essentially imprisonment. Why do you think, for example, if he were to escape and wreak his wrath upon the universe,
unsuspecting universe?
That's even scarier. Why do you think that would have been a better alternative versus execution?
Okay, so I'm gonna go with because you're in the military, correct?
Yeah.
Affirmative.
Okay, so what's the one thing they say to you every time when you're in the middle of, if you were to be in the heat of combat, rely on your what?
Ass.
I'm about to say something, but I didn't want to disrespect the military. I was going to say the same thing, but I was like, no, that's disrespectful to the military.
But like, when let's say you're in the heat of combat, you're all like just you're panicked. What is it that you fall back on?
Your instincts and your training.
Your training. Fall back on your training. What was Anakin trained to be before he became Darth Vader?
A slave.
Nope. When he was training as Vader, when he was before he became Vader, when he was Anakin Skywalker, what was his training?
To be a Jedi Knight.
Jedi.
But still, that is.
Well,
still
he spent more time. Hear me. He spent more time as a Padawan Jedi learner than he was as a Sith Lord. Now, we've seen.
Hold on.
It might be the same amount of time.
Nope. As long as a Sith.
So same
from 23 to like 40 something. That's 20 years. He was a Padawan for like maybe he was a Jedi from age 9 to 23. That's 14 years. He was a Sith for like twice as long.
Okay.
1/3 of his life was a Jedi.
Okay.
If that much.
But how many times have we seen Anakin inside his head? There's a part of him that's still, even Luke relied on said part to bring him back, right?
Yeah.
Who's to say that him being frozen in carbonite wouldn't give him introspection as to what he was? It wouldn't give Anakin, if we're going to go with split mind, wouldn't give Anakin a chance to fight back and get back his body, get back his soul, who he was. Because we've seen in comic books where Anakin has actually fought, and yes, he's lost against himself, but with a barely able Vader who was a fledgling Sith Lord by comparison, and a trained Jedi chosen one who can fight back and give himself the time. You find peace in a time You actually find peace in times of storm.
Mm-hmm.
If Darth Vader was in his storm, he got what he deserved. He got the justice he deserved versus not dying, but being sit inside an area where he couldn't move, he couldn't do, he could not choose.
Yeah.
And he had to sit there and think and meditate and go. And I believe.
You were assuming he's meditating.
I believe that his Jedi training would kick back in. I believe his Jedi mind would go back into itself and it would reform and rehabilitate by itself.
Now, you saying that, but why not just have him do my verdict in which a known Jedi who freed him originally sits with him, his son, and facilitates that meditation knowingly? You're hoping that happens.
Yeah, that's a big ass.
But see, this is my issue. So we made a comparison to the real world, right? So in real life, black kid struggle in the ghetto, no school, can't really get to good school because he lived in ghetto, can't get out because he's not really an athlete. He turns to life of crime, but he had potential for a better life. But we send him to prison. Now, when he comes out, are we gonna hope? Well, we hope he goes back to school and hopes he gets a way to get to school, or is he gonna go back and do the same stupid shit he got locked up?
Put that nigga in jail.
You see what I'm saying? Without the rehabilitation of a parole officer or a back to school program or jobs for cons and stuff, without that shit, he gonna fall back into the same life. So assuming Vader get out, who's to say he not gonna go back to his same? You see, a vengeful life. Rehabilitation is the answer. And I'm glad you said the thing about him being a Jedi. So he was like I said, trained by Jedi for 14 years. But like I said earlier, who was his positive role models? Obi-Wan Kenobi? I already told you he broke several rules of combat, fighting people, cutting somebody in half, cutting their multiple limbs off. All these shits is against the rules of Jedi Knights. I'm telling you that. I forgot to read the Jedi Code book, but the Jedi Code book of conduct of lightsaber conduct, you do not cut off more than one limb. You don't cut people in half, and you don't cut their heads off. But that's who's teaching him. Somebody you already said was an imperfect teacher because he just became a Jedi Knight himself.
So I would like to interject here.
Go ahead.
What it sounds in the basis of that you both are referring to forms of rehabilitation. One is basic imprisonment. And,
basically torture.
And the other is active rehabilitation. However, what is the likelihood of someone going back to a life of crime even after active rehabilitation? It's still the same possibility.
Well,
even though that you check off the boxes, and you get past the program, that does not guarantee that you will still go back.
It doesn't. But if you change the rehabilitation and the environment, see, you have to change the environment. I was trying to bring it back to
his environment is a fucking ice cream.
No, I know, but I'm saying his environment, Darth Vader's environment was imperialness and the empire being, the emperor being over him. Without the emperor around, without him supposedly being high up in the empire's gone. And all he has is his son's love and his home planet. I think Vader would be rehabilitated because he changed his environment and he changed his And
the environment that you're voting for is a world of fucking Jar Jars. All right, so
I'm just saying, I gotta give him some punishment. I'm gonna give him a little bit of punishment, a little fun punishment.
So,
but you're stating
punishment.
You're stating this punishment. You're stating this punishment in the form of which you had stated originally, and you might not have this full intent, or that might be your full intent. But you're stating this punishment to being after his rehabilitation.
No, I'm saying it's part of his rehabilitation.
So after
learning patience by dealing with a bunch of gungans, yes. I can't think of a more patience trying situation
and you
than
said
a bunch
you wanted
of gungans.
to lock him to his home world.
Yeah, Tatooine. What it's saying is, we hate saying.
So just gungans and sand.
Gungans and sand. I'm not sure how the gungans will work on a planet full of sand. That might be hell for them.
That'd be more hell for them than it would.
Right. I mean, maybe I drop a lake on. Maybe terraform part of it would have a lake. I'm not sure, but I'm just saying that he's with gungans and he's on Tatooine, and Luke is there helping him get along.
So, jurors, are we ready to convene about
I have one
verdicts?
close.
Oh, I still had some shit dropped over him. We done. I still got some shit.
I got a few bombs in the tank.
Go ahead, throw some bombs. I read some bombs too.
Let me go ahead and grill Chip some more because I've been grilling Al quite a bit.
I think I've been doing a great job
with gunshot after gunshot.
I think I've been
He's been deflecting
job.
some of those, so it's time to
like a master Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Like a Sith Lord, huh?
Whatever.
Diabolical work. Anyways, all right. So Basic imprisonment. All right, cool. Floating through the vastness of space, practically, with the possibility, even though it's vague or it might be minuscule, but there's still a chance that he essentially escapes. Do you think that if he were to escape, that he would just essentially be rehabilitated? You said earlier in your earlier statement that you believe that he would go into his meditation space, which
What I need, and this is, I hate to cut you off.
send it.
My thing is, he killed mercilessly, and didn't so much as blink. No, I'm sorry.
He's in a
Nope.
mask.
Huh?
You be so fast with the stupid shit. I didn't even think of that. Damn.
He
That's
doesn't
true.
blink.
But he did it so indiscriminately, where it was like,
This nigga stupid.
and then the thing is, what I'm thinking of is not. What I'm thinking of in general is what penance, what do the victims get back? What do the losses get back? If he will bring balance to the force, what balance did he bring by destroying someone's lives? And what peace did he bring someone else due to his cruelty? I'm thinking of the victims, of the leftovers, as we say in the news, survived bys. I'm working about survived bys.
Okay, now you talking about the people he personally killed or what the Empire does? Because that's two different things.
Okay, so I'm saying, so I apparently I'm making a distinction without a difference.
Okay, yeah, I'm saying, what are you saying? Him personally, people he personally killed, the families he left behind, orphan and shit? Or are you talking about specifically what the Empire does? Because like you said earlier, by your own point, he wasn't an officer of the Empire. He was a bully for the Emperor. He had nothing to do with
Then how about
the
this?
Empire's business. And
How about this then? How about this then?
Stealing nutrients and all like that for planets was they shit.
So I was going to say this point, but since we're here now,
Yeah, we getting wrapped up.
what about the Padawans? What about the kids? The ones now you said the Jedi Order essentially was imperfect and all this.
Okay, so who were the victims left behind? Who did they leave behind?
So the souls of those children,
Yes.
the ones who looked at him as a hero. And I'm gonna paint the picture, guys. If you've ever seen it, if you've heard of it. So Anakin is given the order by the Emperor. Go.
He walks into the Jedi.
Walks into the Jedi Order with the troops behind him at his back, and one of the children, Padawans, come from a master's. They're so small they can hide behind this chair. that tall, and he come out and say, "Master Skywalker, there's so many. What do we do?" Anakin looked at the child without a word and activated his lightsaber. The child flinched back. We know what that means.
Yes.
That means that child was destroyed. All those kids killed. So what do we say? What do we do for them? Like what they hadn't. Now, if he's attacking the whole Jedi Order, what did those kids do? How about this? What about the Padawans who didn't even know, who just loved the Jedi Order for what it was planning to go by the order of things, go by the rule of it, and they had the gumption to try to stop Darth Vader and got slaughtered or brought down in his wake. What do we say for them? What do we say for them?
They should have ran.
This leads into a question, gentlemen. This leads into a question that I have.
Because some people ran, they lived. I'm just saying.
This is a question
Count Kestis ran.
that led into what I have for the both of you, and I'm gonna start with
Yoda
Chip.
ran.
What kind of example and precedence does this show to others that commit war crimes in this universe if we imprison them or rehabilitate them? Because we can't rehabilitate
Everybody.
everybody.
But that's what I'm saying.
This
They
is a leading
did,
precedent.
though.
This is a leading precedent into examples after him. Yes, he did some. I ain't gonna lie, he did some devious work. However, Mr. Fairley work at that.
I heard
Yes,
something.
yes, we did. They can get this 9 though. Anyways, proceeding forward.
But no gun.
I ain't even bring it in here. I ain't gonna hold
You sick bastard!
So-
You sick. He
So-
did was that was performed almost. You
Get
sick.
to X's point. We getting.
All right, so
time
this
moving.
is the main point in which I want to get down to the nitty gritty of. What type of examples are you gentlemen trying to set precedent for those after him?
the example.
We're starting with Chip because I've asked you a lot.
Okay,
of
go
questions.
ahead.
there has to be
I'm gonna put a 2-minute timer on your head.
there has to be a penance.
No,
Pretty much, there has to be a penance because you need in order for a crime to be, in order for there to be a what is the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for?
Balance?
Not a balance.
Deterrent.
Thank you. In order for there to be a adequate deterrent from committing a crime or doing these things, and to stop it, then there has to be an equal enough punishment that you just like, that ain't even worth my time. I'm gonna let that go. Because what my opposing counsel is saying is, long as you hit and destroy and do all everything, and everybody's like, oh, we forgive you, but you have left a whole trail of tears behind you. And it's like everybody's like, well, shoot, I can get away with this, and they'd be like, okay, I'm sorry. After all that, there's no. You have to be sorry in a way where people are genuinely like, damn, your existence. Like, okay, stay here. Don't move. Don't you go nowhere. Don't you take the crime and do what you got with it.
The man is trapped to the planet of sand. He hates sand.
I don't care. I don't care.
Okay, so now you're saying that you don't want to show the mercy of the Jedi that you wished Anakin had shown? You showing the same hypocrisy the Jedi did.
Wait a second. I may have just found a loophole in your punishment, bro. Because think about Darth Vader's abilities, right? Ain't he like a master at the fucking Force?
Yes.
So can't he just find a way to lift the fucking thing off? I don't know.
No,
Like,
okay. Well, listen to what I'm saying though.
That pissed me off even
You're
more.
saying that he should not.
That
That's
pissed me
the
off
Jedi
more.
way. You're talking about the way you're talking about. Well, he can't just. Yes, that's what Jedi do. They let people who forgive themselves go. They don't punish people. That's what Jedis do. Now, I'm not saying the courts won't do something, but I'm saying the Jedi way is to do.
Again,
But he's not a Jedi.
I said again, I'm standing for the people of the New Republic. I didn't say the Jedi Order.
Oh,
The Jedi Order was the victims, first of its victims, ultimately of its victims.
Okay.
But what I'm saying though is
The
that
New Republic that has old Imperial officers don't want to have any kind of fucking retribution or any kind of.
so we're gonna split hairs about.
Split hairs. It's in it's in the DNA of the show. They showed you the people that were still corrupted by the Imperial influence are in the New Republic. The same corrupt systems is the problem. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he should not be some kind of trapped. What I'm saying is that he's a victim. The Imperial officers that work for the Empire openly didn't have fucked up childhoods as far as we know. No evidence given to that. They were manipulated by the Emperor for years. They saw a job opportunity and said, yeah, I can fuck with some people. And they said, yeah, who? They, to me, are more guilty than Darth Vader have ever been. Because he was manipulated by his love life. The Emperor did not go to every officer who signed up and was like, I can save your dying wife. That didn't happen. That only happened to Annie.
So if we're gonna talk about corruption inside of the system,
You see what I'm saying, though?
okay, we're gonna talk about corruption inside the system. Then why is it that the Rebel Alliance was built off of former Imperials? The same alliance that toppled it had very valuable information from some higher ups inside the Imperial system. Crix Madine, for example, gave information. He, as a matter of fact, did the last briefing before the battle over Endor. And he was a high-ranking Imperial. Wedge Antilles was a former Imperial fighter pilot. Big Starklighter, former Imperial fighter pilot. And Wedge Antilles played a pivotal role in the Rebel Alliance.
Okay, they made the right choice. They saw what the fuck was going on.
But here's my thing.
So my question is, why all the other millions of officers didn't make that same choice? All them people have choices. Annie was tricked.
Choice. So we're going with choice.
What was he going to? Okay, so hear me out. No, hear me out. Okay,
Council.
No, let me finish.
Wait. Council, open floor is 2 minutes.
Okay, so you're saying that, but Eddie, what was he gonna do? So if Darth Vader, the pinnacle of the Empire, wakes up and goes, "This is fucked up," he gonna just what? Do what?
I'm sorry. So
He's trapped in a shell built by the Emperor. Everybody he's loved is dead. Where is he going? He has no one. The man is alone because he was manipulated and isolated like a fucking cult. That's what happens when you're manipulated. You turn on everyone you love and you're trapped by this fucking cult leader. That's what happened. It was a one-man cult. What? Join the Sith cult. That's all it was.
So, but he didn't have a choice.
He was manipulated.
He didn't have a choice.
He was manipulated.
No. I need to know. I need you to say yes or no. Did he have a choice?
No, he didn't have a choice.
He didn't have a choice. Okay.
Because Palpatine utilized his slave mind mentality, the same mentality that black people deal with every day. Because the same rules that they taught us during the whatever the fucking that I can't think of right now. What's it called? The laws that the white man made up to
Jim Crow.
You know what I'm talking about? Turn on each other.
Lynch letter.
Lynch letter, yeah, the Lynch letter. The same fucking mentality Lynch letter is put on us almost 200 years ago. Still fuck with us to this day. So, generation of trauma being taught down, he went through some kind of his same slave mentality was available for Palpatine to manipulate.
Okay.
And that was he was one kid in less than 10 years' time.
Open floor closed.
I like to pivot with choice.
Okay.
Open floor closed. I told y'all had 2 minutes.
Well, we didn't start exactly the hour though. We started at the beginning. We had like 6 minutes worth of real time.
Oh, well,
all right. So jury.
Oh man.
You know what? Actually, we'll give counsel
one more.
Chip 30 seconds.
If the council will allow me, I'm going to step a little bit outside of Star Wars universe, just a little bit.
Oh, here we go.
You're going to talk about freezing.
No. But thank you. That helps tattoo.
20 seconds.
There's a show I watched called Stargate SG-1. And there's a character named Tilk. He is a character known as a Jaffa. And Jaffa work for the characters they call gods. They're gods. They believe they're gods. They feel. And this is under manipulation, right?
Okay.
And Anakin had no choice. He was manipulated.
Yep, he was manipulated.
So Tilk believed without a shadow of a doubt that this character known as Apophis was his god.
20 seconds.
Apophis was going to destroy him and destroy everything. But Tilk decided one day, I'm not going to do what you say. Mm-hmm. He worked for this empire. He destroyed lives. He decided, I'm not going to do this, and turned on his own god, which means he knew if he did something bad, his God will strike him and his family down. Mm-hmm. There was no question. Yep. But he did it out of his own will, out of his own choice. I'm going to make right.
Right.
But Anakin never decided.
Was he did you say he
was a slave?
You say he had loved ones?
Yes.
He currently had loved ones?
Yes.
Still alive right around him?
Yes.
He had no loved ones around him. And the moment he did find out he had a loved one, he flipped.
Damn me on your ass.
And that concludes the open floor.
I'm just saying.
All right, so jury.
The man found out he had a son. It was like, oh shit, I can't do this.
In favor of Vader's rehabilitation, say aye.
Oh.
That's one person.
That's one. In favor.
Oh, is it an aye?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 2 out of 3.
In favor of Vader's imprisonment, say aye.
Only because I get that nigga stuff for aye.
But you said out of both of them. You got to pick one or the other.
Wait.
Okay. I know.
All right,
I'm breaking the rules.
hold on. I'm going to throw out 3 options.
Oh, here we go. What's the third
So,
option?
we're going to go back through these, but I'm going to let y'all hear all 3. In favor for Vader's rehabilitation, in favor of Vader's imprisonment, and in favor of Vader's execution.
Ooh. I wanted to go there, but I was trying to be lenient and give the galaxy some peace.
So
All right, so Vader's rehabilitation, say aye. Vader's imprisonment, say aye.
Aye.
Vader's execution, say aye. Aye.
First of all, I want to point out that I did not ask y'all to come up with your own fucking verdict.
So,
but
all
the
right.
people speak.
So the reason being is because you got to realize, and this is why I was asking some specific questions. The questions in the realm of what I was thinking of is both of y'all's stances and points were similar. They were similar in outcome. However, or it was similar in the desired outcome. However, y'all had 2 different approaches to it.
Right.
Yep.
Those 2 different approaches still could have had a result of him flipping shit. That's the part that you want to avoid.
You want to get rid of the monster.
Think about it. If you are being rehabilitated,
Yeah.
y'all had open
And he
force.
still can baby triggered it.
He still has access to the force. He still has his abilities. He still has his powers.
Yep.
And mind you, he has to basically have a babysitter to keep him in check, regardless of who the person may be.
Right.
Secondarily, thinking about meditation. Meditation, if I'm wrong, correct me, but does not meditation make you closer or bring you closer to the force?
Yeah, but the light side of the
spending
force,
time meditating while in imprisonment almost could be making him stronger if the case in point he comes out.
Ooh, yeah, shit. No, definitely.
Which, as you stated, counsel.
Yes.
The possibility of his escape is detrimental, not only certain civilizations, but the galaxy itself. The galaxy as
a whole, yeah, that's true.
Because, so that's the next point.
Putting that
and
on a sand planet, like I feel like not
send it. Full send. Full send.
Like, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Adaptability is basically where I'm going with this shit. Like,
super adaptable.
Super fucking adaptable. Even though he doesn't like it, he can adapt to that shit. And you never know. I don't know all the ins and outs of the force, but if he's in prison, that's ample fucking time to reinforce that skill and make that shit godlike.
And his home world at that. His home fucking world at that.
Okay, so here's my thing about the imprisonment is that it's the same point for why he wouldn't turn on the Emperor without a catalyst. It's the same reason he wouldn't bust out without a catalyst. As you said, we pointed out several times before, he only takes orders. Whenever Vader did some shit on his own, it was never malicious. It was always some kind of investigating about who Luke was, what happened to Ahsoka, shit like that. Where's Obi-Wan? Things like that. Now, am I wrong?
And what is
everything he did without the Emperor's guidance was investigations. You see what I'm saying? But he followed orders to a T. So I feel like if you tell him, hey, you on this planet, because he still has a slave boy's mentality, you here now. This is your thing now.
So what is the likelihood of him no longer taking orders but doing things on his own will and own design? Because nothing would be a stopping force. Don't care who. That's a battle regardless of who he comes across. But nothing will be a stopping force from what he decides to do next.
That's true. But let me point this out, though, because y'all haven't seen Star Wars. Everything Anakin has done, everything he's done has been for loved ones. When he's not following Jedi orders or Sith orders, it's about his loved ones. He's going to check on Ahsoka. He's going to go find his mama. He's going to marry Padme. All these things are things he would do for his loved ones. It's not because he killed the Sand People because they killed his mama. That's the only reason. But he doesn't go around murdering people because he want to murder people. He go around murdering people because they hurt someone he loved.
But that still doesn't make it right.
No, it doesn't.
But see, it's the simple fact. the simple fact for his track record. The simple fact for his track record. And this is what puts him. This is what puts him in that really, really tough to talk area. This really rough gray area. Because of his track record, his ability, his mastery, his strength when it comes to the connection between him and the Force. Because of these factors, and also that he's played both sides before. He's been on the Jedi side. He converted over. Cool. He's done things for his loved ones. We're not negating the fact of that. We're thinking primarily about his track record, his fucking KD.
KD. That's a wild choice. KD's a wild choice of words. Okay.
And his simple ability to be a unstoppable force.
The only thing Anakin's ever done when he had his modicum of freedom, when he was his little free time as a slave boy on the planet, was build shit. He made a pod racer. He made C-3PO. He's an inventor when he isn't given orders to do something. He's a genius. He's creating things. He's not hurting people. He's just creating stuff.
And how young was he at those
9.
times? And now he's a 40-year-old or something grown.
Exactly. Imagine we can build now. I guess we should have told him what actually happened to Darth Vader at the end because that would have that was alleviated the third option because he died anyway.
Put that nigga down.
The execution was what happened.
Exactly. Put that nigga down.
I was just saying, but that already happened.
Put that nigga down.
So my friends have failed me. So, guys, if you enjoyed the debate and you have opinions, please leave them below.
Yeah,
I know.
Please.
I imagine going to be a lot of fucking comments.
I want to see what chat got to say.
So,
please comment. Please like. Please comment.
They're going to comment and they're not going to like this.
We love
what do you all think should happen to Vader? Should he be rehabilitated? Should he be in prison? We're going to ignore the execution because he was already executed. He already fucking died. That was the whole point. We were trying to come
that was the whole point. We improved our point.
So we made 3 left turns. You still made it on the same path he's already on. So anyway, guys. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I say time travel to the exact motherfucking moment where he was about to die. We improve his health just to make his death more sufferable.
So next time we do a debate like this, we will be knowledgeable about the subject matter before we get into it.
30 Jedis versus Vader, arena style.
Fucking Vader.
That's no. I don't give a fuck. 30 Jedis versus Vader, arena style, and if Vader if Vader makes it out.
Okay, you said that's his punishment.
That's his form of
execution.
No,
because he gonna reach it to his. No, that's gonna make him worse.
What level's the Jedi?
No, I still say Vader gonna come out of that.
Yeah, Vader.
I want all levels.
Yo, Vader's
bro. Unless it's 30 Yodas, it's a wrap.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold.
I want Yoda to be in that mix.
I'm saying unless it's 30 straight Yodas.
Look at the ending of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
What game you talking about?
Fallen Order.
The ending.
And then when you play as Cal Kestis, you don't even face him. You run.
Right. Oh yeah.
So look at that ending, and then tell me, could 30 just be like, yeah, we.
I'm just talking about.
Just
about the
throw
highest
a fucking
grade.
planet at him and be
So, like I said,
I don't think that'll work.
The next time we do this debate, we'll be the jury will be knowledgeable about the subject matter.
We don't need to be.
I feel like we just wasted everybody's time. So, guys,
we're supposed to
like,
be
comment, subscribe. Please leave a message below for what we should have said and what you think that should be the verdict.
Carbonite.
And hey, if you got a suggestion for another character court moment where 2 people defend it, let us know. We'll gladly blindly defend these people or not.
Say Frieza.
But to the next time,
say Frieza.
Frieza's already guilty.
Stay locked in. Not clocked in, guys. Peace.
Frieza. Peace.